Hidden for 20 years, an amazing old car sat forgotten in Tom Smith's garage. It was covered in dust and wrapped in mystery, until now. Let's discover the surprising find that amazed car lovers everywhere. Discovering a 20-year secret. Before he was on the Misfit Garage TV show on Discovery, Tom was part of the team on Fast and Loud on the same TV channel. Tom learned to love cars from his uncle, who had a junkyard in Georgia, when Tom was a kid. When Tom was 10 years old, he got his hands on a 1973 Granville, and that's when his love for cars began. He worked hard by cutting grass to earn money to buy the car. When Tom moved to Ohio as a teenager, everyone around him liked Chevy cars, so he decided to be different. He bought a 1967 Ford Galaxie XL convertible instead. Tom joked that he didn't want to drive off a cliff in a Chevy, so he picked a Ford. Tom's first car was a Ford with a strong engine, which he made even faster by adding better parts. Sadly, he wrecked the convertible while driving too fast. Even though that happened, Tom said he had an awesome time. Another important person in Tom's life was a really good mechanic named Carl Parsons, who taught him important skills about fixing cars. One of Tom's favorite things to do is solve problems with machines and figure out what went wrong. He gets annoyed when he has to fix electronic problems in newer cars because it means resetting a computer after doing a brake job. Tom also misses how beautiful old engines used to look, which seemed like pieces of art. Under the hood, Tom ended up in Texas and joined the Gas Monkey team, showing up on the show Fast and Loud on Discovery. When he left the TV show, he also left the Gas Monkey garage, but he quickly got a new job with the Misfit Garage crew. His co-workers at Misfit Garage like Chevy cars, but Tom likes Fords better. While he thinks other car brands are nice, Tom's love for art really shows when he talks about Chrysler's beautiful cars from the late 50s and early 60s. Tom really likes the Exner cars for their style, look, and how pretty they are overall. Tom Smith, a guy who used to work at GMG, is known for loving fancy cars. He has a 1967 Cadillac DeVille that he's fixed up to look like it did when it was new. This car was first made for Todd Graves, the person who started Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers restaurant. The inside engine and springs have all been completely fixed up, and it has shiny red paint along with big red wheels. It's been named Big Red Caddy, which fits its eye-catching and special look. The 1967 Cadillac DeVille is a perfect example of American fancy cars from the best time of really big cars. It came in different styles, like a 2-door coupe, a 4-door sedan, and a convertible. It has a 429 cubic inch V8 engine, making about 340 horsepower and 480 pounds-feet of torque with a 4-barrel carburetor. It gives a smooth and powerful ride made for easy cruising. It comes with a regular turbo Hydro-Atic 3-speed automatic transmission. The car has coil spring suspension both in front and back, giving a floaty and smooth ride. This was normal for Cadillacs from the 1960s. The regular power steering and power brakes make it easy to control, while soft bench seats can be covered in leather, vinyl, or cloth. Power windows, power seats, and automatic temperature control can be added as extras. The futuristic straight speedometer and airplane-style chrome switches make it even cooler. Also, it has a fully automatic power folding soft top and a glass back window for better seeing and toughness. Its size is about 225 inches long with a width of around 79.9 inches and a weight between roughly 4,600 to 5,000 pounds, depending on the type. The wheelbase is 129.5 inches, making it really big on the road. The car shows off sharp body lines with Cadillac's famous tail fins, which are smaller than those on older models. It has hidden headlights and straight tail lamps with lots of chrome on the front grille, bumpers, and trim. Fender skirts and white wall tires make it look even fancier, with 15-inch steel wheels with Cadillac-branded hubcaps. Depending on what the owner wants, it can have wide white wall bias ply or radial tires, going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 9 seconds. Not fast compared to today's cars, but smooth and confident with a top speed of around 120 miles per hour. Tom's car told one story, but the real chapter started when he teamed up with other outcasts and dreamers to create the Misfits. Stay with us as we look in the Misfit Garage, the garage that broke the rules. Throughout Tom's life, He has worked on different projects and challenges from television towers to hot rods. However, his hardest challenge came when he was let go from Gas Monkey Garage, the custom car shop shown on the Discovery Channel's Fast and Loud. Instead of giving up, he chose to start his own business with 3 other master mechanics who had also worked with Gas Monkey Garage. Together, they started Misfit Garage, a workshop full of misfits who all love cars and have a good sense of humor. Misfit Garage is a reality TV show about fixing cars that was shown on the Discovery Channel. It stars Tom Smith and Jordan Butler. After getting fired from the Fast and Loud's Gas Monkey Garage, they team up with mechanics Thomas Weeks and Scott McMillan to make a new garage called Fired Up Garage. The cast changes a lot, with mechanics like Kevin Clark and John Klump, along with Richard Rawlings, the owner of Gas Monkey Garage and a producer of the show. Each episode shows old cars either brought in by customers or found during trips looking for cars. And these cars are fixed up using either old or new ways by the talented mechanics at Fired Up Garage. The show also has reality TV parts like ongoing fights among the cast, mechanical problems, and constant arguments with Richard Rawlings from Gas Monkey. While fans may think they know everything about Fired Up Garage, there are actually many hidden tools in the toolbox. The main cast of Misfit Garage, Tom Smith and Jordan Butler, used to work at Gas Monkey Garage on the show Fast and Loud. In February 2014, Tom Smith told TMZ that he was fired from Gas Monkey Garage after cursing at the manager on duty. This fight happened after Tom and Jordan let a fan take picture with Richard Rawlings' Rolls-Royce without asking for permission. Later, the Discovery Channel gave the 2 jobless guys a chance to make their own show, still made by Pilgrim Studios. Some cast members of Misfit Garage had also been on Fast and Loud and were shown getting fired in the original episodes. This makes viewers ask questions since Richard Rawlings is the executive producer of Misfit Garage. Richard is the one who fired some of the Fast and Loud cast members. So it makes you wonder if the cast members were really fired or it is just a smart trick for TV. Rumor says that the Discovery Channel might have staged the firings to start the spin-off show. Even though Fired Up Garage says it's separate from Gas Monkey Garage, Richard Rawlings still had a lot of control over it, including being the landlord, which was clear right from the first episode of Season 1. Plus, Richard Rawlings was also the executive producer of the show. The job of executive producer lets Richard Rawlings have control as an artistic supervisor, letting him influence the cars shown in the shop and the way each vehicle is changed. To make things more complicated, Richard Rawlings also manages the money budget, which gives him power over the funding for each project, how the money is used for the garage, and the promotion and marketing of the show. Thomas Weeks has had several accidents both during and outside of filming. Most of these injuries are related to car activities. They include common and expected injuries like cuts, scrapes, tiredness, pricks, and burns. However, there have also been some more serious injuries. Among these bad injuries is a wrist injury that is quite easy to see on the show, as Thomas Weeks has to wear a glove to support his hurt hand. His first injury related to cars was when a metal rod cut through his chin. This happened when a 4-year-old Thomas Weeks was watching his dad work on a car and accidentally fell into a spike-lined emission while trying to peek under the hood. Tom Smith often does comedy on the side. He often performs at the Dallas Improv Club in Texas and sometimes at the Manhattan Christie Club in New York. In fact, Tom Smith is so into his comedy that he has shared his dreams with different newspapers and reporters about wanting to bring his comedic act to the television series Misfit Garage. One of the acts he is really excited to show on the program involves him going door to door in a no-soliciting neighborhood trying to sell no-soliciting signs. The name of the garage shown on Misfit Garage is Fired Up. Clearly, this name is cool, trendy, and edgy, but it also has a deeper meaning. Misfit Garage gets about 1 million viewers for each episode. The average money earned from every car shown on the show is roughly $2,000, showing that the salaries of the cast mainly come from the show's fame rather than the merchandise. Before joining Fired Up Garage, John Klump had experience working at different garages throughout the United States, where he worked on many vehicles. including a 1960s replica of the Batmobile designed as a van. It was here that John Clump put in a working flamethrower. Additionally, John Clump also added a side mount for a machine gun and a place for a missile on the van's roof. Several cast members from Misfit Garage, including Kevin, Clark, and Tom Smith, have been known to do joyriding, which is driving without a license. These two cast members have admitted to reporters and media that before they were old enough to get a real driver's license, they took cars from their family members and drove them around town. One story shared by Tom Smith tells about something that happened when he was just 10 years old. He was out on a late-night joy ride when he almost got caught by the police. Instead of pulling over and facing arrest, Tom Smith decided to act like James Bond and tried to get away, only to end up crashing into a police cruiser. Unlike the other members of Fired Up Garage, Kevin Clark did not grow up in a car-loving family. His love for cars began with playing with toy cars. He started with Hot Wheels in his childhood and later moved on to building his own model cars during his teenage years. Kevin Clark has always loved his tiny models and continues to do so. Now that the garage had a fresh start, it was time to bring back the crew that created the chaos and creativity. Let's find out. Misfit Garage was something special. It was among the first shows to put Richard in the spotlight thanks to the amazing performances and constant hard work of a series' incredibly popular and skilled team, especially Tom Smith, Jordan Butler, Thomas Weeks, Scott McMillan, and others. The cast changes from season to season, but the show has managed to do quite well overall. Tom Smith and Jordan Butler were part of the original Fast and Loud crew before they joined Misfit Garage. Rawlings is known for bringing a lot of drama, and it didn't seem surprising when Fast and Loud let go of these two main hosts after a big argument with Rawlings himself. Later, it was rumored that the firing was planned so Butler and Smith could leave the show and start Misfit Garage, or to grab the attention of viewers and the media. Or maybe it was a bit of both. We may never know for sure. The reality TV series Misfit Garage has made big progress since it first came on TV in 2014. However, there hasn't been any news about the main cast for quite a while after the last season, even though it's a spin-off with 6 seasons full of cars and drama. Misfit Garage has been quite successful on its own. The most skilled mechanic from the Misfit Garage team, Tom Smith, was especially known for his funny one-liners. Despite all this time passing, fans seem to have almost forgotten about Smith. The name of the garage, Fired Up Garage, comes from Tom's childhood. He always dreamed of having a garage called F&U. Besides that, Tom is a professional stand-up comedian and regularly performs at different improv clubs. On the side, he works on personal and client car projects, keeping his fans updated with regular posts. Even while filming the show, Tom was also doing comedy gigs and seems to be spending more time on it lately. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Tom has been doing live comedy sessions. Additionally, he helps rescue and move dogs in need. About a month ago, in a Facebook post that excited his fans, Tom hinted at the possibility of getting his own auto modification show. Jordan Butler left Misfit Garage in 2014 because he reportedly didn't want to move to a new shop or partner with someone new. As a co-founder, Jordan was known for his awesome style and for helping lay the foundation for the reality TV show with Tom. He owns his own garage and has a stake, though the exact amount is unclear, in Fired Up Garage. He used to post updates about new projects on his social media, but hasn't been very active since 2018. Now he's spending quality time with his best friend, who is now his wife and their 2 cute kids. Scott McMillan was the third founding partner of the reality show and previously worked at Gas Monkey. He left the show to focus on his own business, Scott Rod's Garage, which he started in 2011. Currently, he is fully busy building hot rods in his garage with his business partner Jeff Dunlap. While the crew worked as a unit, there was no mistaking Tom's presence. Let's take a closer look at the man who kept both engines and tempers running hot. Tom Smith, the wild card of Misfit Garage. Many people call him the Car Guy. This nickname comes from his deep love for cars, which began when he was quite young. But Tom Smith is not just known for his skills in the automotive field. He is also an amazing singer. Yes, he can sing beautifully and play the guitar, too. In addition to his car obsession and musical talent, he is a gifted comedian. Let's explore his life, net worth, marital status, family, and even his obituary after his sad passing this year. Tom Smith was born in 1942. He came into the world in Ohio, USA. When he was still a child, his family moved to Georgia, where he spent most of his early years. There's no information about his parents or their jobs. However, it was clear from a young age that he had a lot of talent. This was especially easy to see when he placed third in a state spelling bee competition. At just 10 years old, he began working on cars at his uncle's place. At the same age of 10, he also got into trouble for his first traffic violation. He was caught driving a 1974 Pontiac Granville without a license. When the police tried to stop him for joyriding, he ended up crashing into their car. That day, he went home to face some serious punishment for his actions. But this was just the beginning of his car passion. To try to keep him in check, he was sent to live with his grandmother at the age of 12. He had to help her while still going to school. With no choice but to comply, the aspiring comedian moved in with his grandmother. He lived with his grandmother until he finished high school, after which he went back to Ohio. He quickly opened his auto shop in it. Tom's major influence regarding cars was Carl Parsons. Carl is a skilled mechanic known for getting the best engine performance. For many years, Tom Smith traveled around working on television towers. He was employed at Tower 2 of the World Trade Center. While working there, he made a kill switch for which he holds property rights. He was also the first to put a hoist with a fuel-injected engine. The master mechanic later returned to his love for cars in Texas. He spent 4 years working on hot rods for Driver's Edge. It wasn't until 2014 that he started showing up on the Discovery Channel's reality show Misfit Garage. The show has been running for 5 seasons now. His passion for running engines has been unmatched. He absolutely loved racing, burning rubber, and making sure the machine was going as fast as possible. It seems he has raced nearly every type of vehicle on Earth. He particularly enjoyed junk cars because if he drove a Ferrari, for example, he would want to see how fast it could go. His dream cars were the 64 Thunderbolt and the 65 Shelby Cobra. Besides cars, he had a deep love for stand-up comedy. He performed amateur comedy at Christie's in Manhattan and at the Dallas Improv. He often did door-to-door performances in his neighborhood. Other interests of his included hunting, fishing, and shooting. He enjoyed long shooting sessions. Although he wasn't a highly skilled shooter, he always appreciated the fun of the sport. His favorite game was deer hunting. His main reason for fishing was the appeal of eating fish. He was known to be a big fan of fish. Additionally, he had a passion for reading books and articles. It is reported that Tom had a collection of works by Isaac Asimov and an autographed copy of Albert Einstein's autobiography. Tom Smith passed away on Saturday, October 6, 2018, while still living in Ohio. There is very little information available online about the circumstances of his death. The cause of his death remains unknown. Tom Smith was 76 years old at the time of his passing. Similar to many other public figures, the Ohio comedian had a rocky romantic life. He was previously married to Deanna Wetzel, but their relationship ended quickly. Despite their separation, Tom Smith continued to support his ex-wife by taking her to a nursing school and caring for their children during the day while working on cars at night. Tom Smith's wealth grew a lot after showing up on the reality TV show Misfit Garage. Before joining this show, he had also been on other TV shows that earned him a good amount of money. His estimated earnings now stand at $500,000. Prior to Misfit Garage, Tom worked at Gas Monkey. He claims that he and his co-star Jordan Butler were not the ones who left the show on their own, but were actually fired. The reason for their firing was quite amusing. It is said that they allowed a fan with cystic fibrosis to take a photo next to a Rolls-Royce owned by the garage's owner, Richard Rawlings. When a foreman saw them, he told them to leave the car. Tom's response to the foreman was rude, leading to their firing shortly after the incident. Tom Smith and Jordan Butler, who are well known from the show Fast and Loud, used to work at Gas Monkey Garage. In February 2014, Tom Smith told TMZ that he was fired from Gas Monkey Garage for swearing at the manager on duty. The argument started when Tom Smith and Jordan Butler let a fan take a photo with Richard Rawlings' Rolls-Royce without asking. The Discovery Channel then gave the two a chance to have their own show made by Pilgrim Studios. Some of the people on Misfit Garage used to be on Fast and Loud and appeared to be fired on that show. This has caused some fans to wonder, as Richard Rawlings is the executive producer of Misfit Garage. Despite the claim of Fired Up Garage to be separate from Gas Monkey Garage, Richard Rawlings actually had a lot of influence over Fired Up Garage. This was clear from the very beginning of the show's first season, where Richard was shown to be the landlord. In addition to this, Richard Rawlings was also the executive producer of the show.